Greetings, everyone. Tommy Hawksblood here, calling from the Big Island of Hawaii. Co-host Tina Bird. I'll let us say hi. Just want to say, lots going on. We got a lot to talk about. Put your questions in the chat room. I already got a few questions that I got to answer. But greetings, Tina. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, greetings, Tommy. Hello, everybody, and everybody in the chat room. Good to see you all here. I'm Tina Bird here from Southampton in the UK, and I'm broadcasting to Tommy, who's in Hawaii, the other side of the world. And we've got a great show for you tonight. The world is exploding with UFO news, and we're going to get into that in a bit. But I'm just going to let Tommy say hello, and we'll dive straight in with the comments, and then we'll go on from there. Tommy.
All right, people. We're not liars here. We tell the truth as much as we know it to the max. If I do know somebody's a liar, I don't bring them on the show. There's very few people I trust to bring on the show. Tina and I have been doing this for a long time, so I truly trust her. But all the people out there, there's a lot of, I hope they talk about religion and God. Well, aliens will not, just so you know. Their egotistical conditioning programming makes them God. All right, they've been working with the Egyptians, the Mayans, the Aztecs, claiming they are that, but they didn't use the word God. God's a new word. God was created when it was a singular God, which means Jesus was God. But it was not entities, deities, and that's the word they used then. The beginning race on the planet, which was called Hinduism, was worshiping deities. So again, the word God's rather new. Not that God wasn't new, really, but accepting it, understanding it, is still very little. Very little people, few people can talk about it or explain anything about it, which I do a show on God at least once every couple of months, no matter what. But the thing is, aliens have less feelings and emotions than we do, meaning when they take us and do things to us, they have less care about it. Oh, I heard him. So what? He can't feel this. He can't say anything. He's not going to scream. So let's stab him. They do what they want. And when a person comes back, usually they are programmed not to remember. Tina's lucky she remembers most of the stuff, not all of it. But most of the people I work with in the beginning, I'm talking about the beginning of the 70s, do not remember a thing. It's called missing time, and people still have missing time today, and they don't know what happened. And they should go to a respectable, honest person they know for hypnosis situation, because too many people work with hypnosis, and they work with people, and they have no clue what's happening or how to stop it. I mean, if a deity or an entity walks into that person's body and starts talking, they don't know the difference. They don't know how to get rid of it. I mean, there's a lot going on with that as well. So we're going to talk about basically aliens, UFOs, what's going down, what's happening, what I see going to happen. But I want Tina to start it off because she's in another part of the world than I am. My part is going crazy, which I'll get into, but I want to let Tina to say her experience first.
Hi guys. Well, just a few things this week. There have been some UFO sightings. Actually, there's been a few things in the news and space news and different things being seen in different satellites and things like that. But in Herefordshire in the UK, they thought up to 5 people spotted this thing. They thought it was a shooting star. It was reported to have been a shooting star, but then it stopped and went back on itself at a merrily speed. I think they managed to capture it on film. I'm not sure, but they generally thought it was a shooting star. So up to 5 people saw it. This was also seen as other events in this part of the country in 2001 and 2007, as well as Northern England in this last 2 or 3 months have been littered with sightings of UFOs. Now, I'm not sure if that's to do with the asteroid we have coming towards us. So if you look up and you're in southern England and you look towards the east, I'm not sure if anyone in northeast of England could see that, but you can see it in Southampton very clearly. In fact, I see it over the back of my house every night. It's sat in the sky there, getting closer every day. It's definitely an asteroid because you can see the blue and green, mainly green, but with blue tail on the back. But you can see the bright yellow at first, but now it's white coming towards us, bigger each night. The other thing that went on, on the 4th of October in Pennsylvania, they in the US were also spotted UFOs. And the biggest news I've been, lots of things people have been sending me this week, thank you very much, is the US Intelligence Agency have a patch or logo, and they've got like stealth bombers on there and 2 or 3 other aircraft or whatever it is on there. But in the bottom of the left-hand corner of the patch is a UFO. So fair play to the intelligence agency. And Jupiter has been in the news this week with its closest approach in many, many years. And it's been very visible in southern England and in England with all of its moons. So look out, there's been some great photography by astronomers posting lots of pictures of Jupiter with its moons on its closest approach to Earth. And if anyone could let me know, has NASA actually launched that? Is it NASA launching their vehicle into space? I think it's been hold for a few weeks or months now. If anyone can let me know if that's actually taken off, because I haven't been bothered to look, or if it's still stationary and sat there. To answer a few questions in our chat room. Hey guys, aliens somewhere. Where's the evidence? Well, you can look back through cave drawings, through findings, different radiation readings, as we've grown and evolved as a species and with technology. Today you have videos, photographs from NASA, photographs from the Ministry of Defense, the CIA, other people, and just normal house people, housewives, farmers, people, remote regions, even observatories on mountains in the middle of nowhere. So there's plenty of evidence. It just needs sifting through. I see things I can't identify all the time. It depends where you're looking and what you're looking at and time of day or night. And if you've been at it for a while, a lot of people think they're misgiven. People can look at things for years and not know what they are. I'm in a unique situation where I live, that there's a naval base or military base one side, refinery the others. I live near docks and water. The airport's the other side of me. Portsmouth shipyards that way. So I know what a aircraft looks like. I know what holding pattern looks like. I know what the helicopters look like. I know the flight patterns and the holding patterns and landing. I used to work at the airport at one time, so I have a good understanding of what lands there and the length of plane, because they only have a short runway and things like that. So when I look up in the night sky, I do roughly know what I'm looking at. So, and if I don't, I ask somebody who's more experienced. So I'm not an astronomer, so anyone can make a mistake. So, but I do like to take pictures now. I've informed, like, take more pictures and videos. So I do that. I hope they talk about God and religion. So, as Tommy will tell you, when you're taken and they're talking to you, I don't think you realise that you ask a question. If you do, it's a thought, and it is so quick, and their response is very quick. And I must say, what they've shown me has been the past, or whether they've taken me to somewhere different, not here. But they talk to you not like I'm talking to you now. It's very different, and I've never seen a religion in their link, or the word or heard about God or a lot of things, but it's probably in there, but I've never heard it or seen it. Well, this is a good one. Tommy's put a good one. I mind doesn't follow Journal 2. Hello, John. Oh, so thank you very much for getting back to us. John's just answered. The Artemis rocket is launching in November, been postponed. Fair enough. Weather's only going to get worse at this time of year, especially here in the UK, but I'm not sure what it's like in the States. Well, we're watching that with bated breath to see does anyone actually know where it is? Is it going to land? Is it just going to go around the moon? Is it going to take photos? I'm not sure what its mission is. I've been lost in all the disappointment. So if anyone could inform me what the mission is, would be great. Obviously, you've got some experts out there. If anyone else or anyone already in our chat room would like to ask another question or come to the show, please ask me and Tommy. Again, we and Tommy only speak about our experiences. We've had people on the show that do try and explain things or would like to know if you'd like to know more. But we're not anti-alien. I think it's because people get us wrong and say you hate aliens and they're all good and light. They kill themselves, really. They do themselves a disservice by saying that in the same sentence. You can't have a good and bad. It's like two sides of one coin. You can't. It doesn't exist. So you get good and bad. So it's the same with aliens, and everyone can't have a very good light experience. And that's the word I don't like, experiencer. So you're either an abductee. I presume they mentioned abductees not having a good time with it, or an experience could be a good experience going shopping. So it depends what you want to call an experience. But I can't say, there's another question. Someone did message me a few weeks ago, and I have tried to explain it, but I'm terrible with typing. I have dyslexia, so it takes me a long time. So I'll describe it now. So I have had a sleep paralysis. Okay. So sleep paralysis is when you are, people think it's an abduction episode. It is clearly not. Coming from an abductee, there is lots of differences. I can understand why people would think it is or it's not, but the clear differences are, when I was having a traumatic event occurring in my life when I was younger, and I lost a parent is horrendous, and I suffered a episode then. It's the one and only time I ever had it. Sleep paralysis, and I went to bed laying down, and if you look on my on the Birmingham UFO group or the BFOG website, you'll see my case history. You can read it on there, and it has a drawing and explains it. So you either wake up and you panic because you can't breathe, you're unable to struggle to breathe or make yourself breathe, and that makes you panic, but you can't move. Or you try to will yourself to move, like it's microscopic movement, but you can't move. And then you're panicking because you can't breathe. It's like holding your breath and then you panic because you try and make yourself breathe. And then your vision is blurred, and it's like someone being very close to you. You've got a terrible feeling someone's in the room with you. It's a horrifying feeling, and you panic. And like panic takes over your system, it cuts out, and then you wake up in the morning. Now, that is that is sleep paralysis. Being abducted, the difference is you obviously a white flash of light, which you don't see when you are with sleep paralysis. You either have a feeling of floating or you don't. And when you awaken or come round, you're facing up. So in sleep paralysis, I was facing down with my head at the side on the corner of the bed. So I was always like kind of in this position, looking up. Your eyes are open and fixed, so you don't get a little bit of movement. You cannot move your eyes, and you don't know you're not breathing. And that is the biggest thing. With sleep paralysis, you panic, you try and make yourself breathe, you're unable to breathe, you know that you cannot breathe or you are not breathing, and you panic and your body takes over. When you've been abducted, you don't know that you are not breathing. If you are, you can't feel it, you can't sense it, you don't kind of panic, and your body is like numb, and it's something else is taking control of your body and your system. You're not registering anything. You can only see out of your eyes, and that is it. You can't look at your fingers and will your fingers. You can't move your eyeballs. There's no microscopic movement, no nothing. So that is another difference, and you can clearly see when your eyes are open. There are times when you do get a bit of blurred vision, but it's not like the blurred vision of sleep paralysis. It's like completely blurry white. When you're being abducted, it's not. And you feel sedated or drugged if they allow you to stand up and walk about. It's very weird. I want to say feeling. You can't feel a lot. It's if they allow you to do things and you move, you get slight uses of things, but you don't know you're using them or asking questions because you can't know to work anything. That's the best way I can explain it. So I do hope that they're just going to orbit the moon in a capsule called Orion. Okay, that's brilliant. Tommy's back. Tommy. No, Tommy's not back.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
Mr. Gizmo's going in and out again. My dog. So, people, I put up my link up there for my website. If you're interested in a book, just text me. I got a book on my spiritual side. I got a book on how to see UFOs. It's a manual. It's a download PDF file. It's about 200 pages, but it's everything you would need to know to try to see or film a UFO. And there's a lot of things I didn't even get to put on it. I can re-edit it right now. But basically, every day I go out within the past 6 months, I see something I never saw before. So that's just mind-boggling in what's happening in the UFO world, which I'm going to get into. Because when I wrote that on the show today, I was out. I put the date there. Anybody see a UFO during that day, let me know. But 2 days ago, Sunday morning, I went out on my deck. I made a synthetic deck, meaning it's not a real deck, but it's a lookout tower I caught, and it goes out my window up to the roof, and I'm like halfway between the roof and the sky, so I'm right up there, and I could actually like see the whole circle above me. I went out 2 days ago at 4:30. About 10 minutes, I said, "Man, nothing's happening. The sky's crystal clear," which it usually is not. Within, and now people, I'm not making this up. There's no reason for me to. I'm not exaggerating anything either. Within that about 45 minutes, I saw over 100 different kinds of UFOs and ships. All right. It's the most incredible night in my history of my UFO world. Never saw so much stuff going on in a short period of time. A good friend of mine shot a really crystal clear picture of a ship, but they will not put it up online. Another friend of mine, okay, I live in Hawaii, and 3 of my friends all talked about what they saw, and they all see this blue orb going into the ocean or coming out. Bluish, greenish orbs. So there is a base down there, and I don't care what people say or not. I'm not going to go into that in detail. The government has no clue what's going on there either. But don't forget, Hawaii is the first center of defense for the planet of the United States. And they actually have all kinds of things here. But the base is underground, and you can't see anything. Even if you go across the mountain where it is, you can't fly over it. Anything like that, you get in trouble. So obviously, nobody knows what's going on there, except the picture that's up on the screen right now. When you come onto the site, copy it and enlarge it. There's 3 triangle ships right there in the back and near the bottom. Check it out. My partner shot it, and she doesn't even follow UFOs or care about them. So there's so many things going on as of like today, yesterday. The past 2 weeks has been incredible. So I feel something's ready to break loose in the UFO world. Not the government coming out, not Stephen Greer coming out, not any of those people. An alien race doing something bizarre. Now, on top of that, and I still say it all relates to, guess who? Alien race. Because Tesla worked with an alien race. He created an earthquake machine in 1900. Right now, if you look at the quake chart, we had the worst amount of big earthquakes within the past 3 weeks ever. And that should be cautious because, when we have a serious earthquake, the earth shifts, whether it's a fraction of an inch or whatever, it moves the planet. With all of them going on every day, it's crazy. So I just feel the energy is super high, not spiritual energy, but energy, people, is going crazy, whether it's just because there's more ships around the planet right now. And the other thing, people, which I'll tell you, you don't have to believe this or not, everybody always says, why are they here? Nobody knows. Yes, people know why they're here. Not everybody. The UFO world, most of them are pretty much controlled and programmed. Oh, it's a good thing. No, it's not. They come around dead people. Vietnam War, there was alien ships around it. World War I and II, there was ships around it. Anytime. Who knows what happened during the 9/11? And I guarantee they take people. They need bodies. They need blood. They need a lot of things. Not friendship and not communication. Oh, we talk to them and they want to learn about this. How many people are here? How many? Well, they don't stay here. The Greys lived underground. We had 3 major wars with them people underground. So does the government talk about that? Does the UFO world talk about that? No. All right. Never mind. I saw 2 ships get blown up in an hour over Hawaii. Then on top of that, other things and watch it, but they don't talk about the wars, what's going on. How you talk to people from Vietnam, they said they saw ships land and different things. So it's not new and it's not different and it's completely covered up, but it doesn't matter. Here's the thing I'll say: doesn't matter what most people say. In the UFO world, I don't feel it helps much because they don't talk about what is your defense. Who's talking about defense for people? Tina has no defense, nobody on her side helping her, protecting her. I'm on her side. If I was living near her, I'd be putting my energy around her house as well. They can't abduct me. I'm not going to go into the story, but I know that for a fact. So I stood before an alien while I was wide awake with my friend. I mean, I was right next to a ship. I mean, a couple feet from it. I was next to a Bigfoot, all those things. But I never got hurt by them. I know the government could take me out tomorrow, which I don't worry about either. Because when you let go of this body, you go to a better place. And most people do not care about the better place. They'd rather stay in this place. Even the Pope and you name them all, they want to stay here, want us to stay here. Well, Satan, not Lucifer, people, is trying to keep us here. If we all left, Satan wouldn't have a job. All right? Whether you understand that, believe it or not, that's your choice. You will someday, whether it's this lifetime or the next. But the UFO world is exploding, people. Now, how do you see a UFO? Go outside, look at the sky, and stay there for a couple hours. You're going to see something. Oh, I don't see a UFO, go back in the house. No, it's not like that. Sometimes I'll spend 4 hours out there. For 3.5 hours, I see absolutely nothing. Sure, I'm bored. But that last 10 minutes, I look up and there's a ship right there coming by or something. So it's not like you can plan it.
Tommy, come to my house. You won't have to wait 4 hours. If you come to my house, just look up. Look, what's that? Northeast. Look up to the southeast and look up if you're in southern England and watch about half hour, 40 minutes, and you'll see them.
See, Tina has UFOs over all the time. And I tell her many times that aliens, her ex-friends, whatever you want to call them, I call them her friends because
they're not my friends. They just make this clear.
Wait. This is what I'm going to say. They're keeping her alive right now. She's radioactive, people. You can't live in radiation. The effects that she has is full-blown radiation poisoning. Her dog died of it. So I feel they don't love her. They don't care about her really, but they need her for certain reasons. And it has to do with her children and stuff. But it's all her problem that they're keeping her alive for that reason. I mean, most people disappear, die, don't come back, and all those things. She's lucky she's here. All right? Very few people that go through what she had to go through are still alive. And, I mean, the government's not going to come out and say what's going on in her world either. So she's lucky. I mean, we know Men in Black listen to our show now. We have a lot of things going on.
They listen to my phone as well and talk to my friends.
I talk to a particular friend, and we hear aliens talking to us in some weird, just that, and we translated.
We translated to about how he knew me, how I think I spoke about this before. He was approached after one of the shows we put on. And he was questioned how he knew me and how we were a lot of friends or what was our contact, and he was questioned big time.
Well, I had a really important friend, not close, but a friend, and he was in MJ12, and I got a lot of information, and he wasn't lying to me. Why? Because he was killed. All right? You know, when people say anything that the government doesn't want out, they don't say it. People like Stephen Greer say everything under the sun, but he's still saying it. Then he says, well, he was offered $2 billion not to talk and leave it. Lies, people. If the government doesn't want you talking about something, you don't, period. Second of all, they're not going to spend $2 billion to remove a person.
I mean, people seem to get the wrong idea of that about me and Tommy in this show. And like Tommy just said about Stephen Greer, he was paid all these millions of dollars and that. We do this show for free. If you want to pay us, fine. We've never been paid for the show. We do it. We talk about our own unique experiences, but it's not because we like the sound of our own voices. It's like a parent trying to tell a child, don't do that. You're going to burn yourself. Don't do that. you're going to hurt yourself. You can see the danger. You've been there, you've seen it, you've done it, and you've experienced it. Uh, it it's frightening, and you wouldn't want anyone to harm your child or you or your family members or relative or your animals. People don't understand that this is real. This is happening. It's not just happened to me, not just happened to people in Southern England. It's happened to people all around the world. And the rest of the human race needs to wake up and be aware of this unseen or unrecorded danger. Yes, now people should be really worried, not to worry and panic the government. But if the governments are worried and it's now origin and intent where they're from, but abductees have been saying for years and many years, and all these people that have laughed at conspiracy theorists, all these people laugh at abductees and call them liars, all these people that witnessed UFOs, all these people that witnessed landings and aliens. It's real. They've come out and said it's real. They want to know origin intent. NASA's saying it, the government's saying it, the military's saying it. They're all on the same page. We need a bit more cohesion within the public realm. People should be asking questions. If you don't like what me and Tommy say, it sounds really crazy unless you've experienced it. Like people say, blue whales exist. Well, how do you know? Have you ever seen one? I've never seen a blue whale in the flesh. Okay, I know they exist. I've maybe seen skeletons and I've heard stories and I've seen pictures. Doesn't mean to say they don't exist and God didn't create them and it's a lie because I haven't seen one in real life. I'm never going to see one. And the odds of me ever seeing a blue whale is zero. But it doesn't mean to say I don't believe in them and I know they don't exist. I've seen the science behind it and I've seen the pictures. So the military have proven abductees right. They've proven that conspiracy theorists right. We sound crazy because it's not something you see or hear, a bit like blue whales. You don't see or hear blue whales every day because they're there. They're in the oceans. They're all over the world. It's just that they don't kill people. They live so far down and so deep and so far away from us. It's inaccessible most of the times. So we're telling you what our experience is like. Just supposing like meeting a blue whale. This is our blue whale, the UFO community. For me and Tommy, we're telling you, approach with caution. If they approach you, you're not being looked after. There's no wild habitat police out there. There's no military looking after us. Like you get Friends of the Earth or scientists, or you get the UN or peace treaty people protecting whales. Who the hell was protecting humans? Nobody protected me, and the government didn't protect me as a child. They let craft from another unknown origin impede our space, impede our airspace, impede our land, your home, your region, your towns. They let them fly above your houses unimpeded, spreading radiation, bacteria, whatever it is. Don't know because it's not been investigated. And then they not only that, they come into your home. They insert themselves into your home under the guise of night. If it was we come in pieces, all brightness and light, and we've got a message for you, they wouldn't be taking children under the cover of darkness, under the guise of night when their parents are asleep. They then wouldn't be taking you and physically restraining you on a bed with a pheromone and hormone and a light, and doing experiments on you and taking bits out from the middle of your body and hurting you and traumatizing you as a child, and then keep coming back and doing it. No. So nobody's protected us. No one's given us a recovery plan. No one's given us medicals. No one's given us medical help. No one's given us psychiatric help. Or your family, it takes over your life, and it comes to a point where you need to get it out. I wasn't going to come forward. It's only the fact that I needed help for someone else very close to me. And it affects your life, it affects your relationships. So people don't see that side of it. And even people that say it's all brightness and light, people call them weirdos, you don't know what you're talking about. There may be a true story behind that. They may have had a good experience. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that we hate aliens. I'm just saying this has happened to us and we should be very wary and careful. But there's no one looking after Tommy and there's no one looking after me. And as sure as how ain't nobody looking after the rest of the planet. Tommy.
All right. Nobody's looking at me. I have somebody looking after me. I am protected from the UFO world anyway. But here's the thing, people. I'm going to go into a couple little different things about what I saw 2 days ago. All right. Now, when you look up at the sky, you might see a UFO, and you might see what they call a clone ship, which is called a satellite, or in other words, just a clone or whatever. But the difference is you can tell by a couple of things. One, their speed, all right? And the other thing is if they stop, they start, or they disappear, it's not a satellite, all right? I usually miss the most important things, but I can film ships all the time. But here's the thing, one out of, I'd say, 8 or 9 disappear right when I get the camera on it. It just goes blink and it's gone. All right, that's not a satellite. And I'm talking the second I put my camera on it. All right, they can see and sense and feel those things, I guess, a lot better. Kind of like a dog has 100, can smell 150 things over what we can't. But they can sense things better than us because they use a lot more different their abilities with their senses.
So sorry, now, I just got a question for someone in our chat room. He just popped something up there. It says, I saw God in my garage, not even lying. I'm not trying to make a song. I saw God in my garage. Okay. How do you know it was God? What did he say to you? What did he look like? Was he dressed in modern clothes? Can you elaborate a bit more?
Well,
and what Tommy just said, just to pick up on what Tommy just said, guys, Tommy's right.
Well, I use the word it all the time for God.
UFO, if you're seeing a UFO in our atmosphere and it's not a plane, it's not a satellite. Satellites do not operate in the realm or in our atmosphere. They operate above the stratosphere. So they don't operate inside our planet because they were just plunged to Earth. There's nothing, a propulsion system to keep them up in the air in the Earth. So if it was in Earth, it wouldn't be flying about and orbiting. It would be heading straight down to the ground. Like you throw a brick. If you threw a brick up there, it would come straight down like a brick. So it would hit the ground like an asteroid or an impact. It wouldn't be flying about, stopping, flashing lights and moving off. It is not a satellite. Satellites do not operate within the Earth.
Mr. I.O. Walks, I want to say a few things. I don't know how much you're in the UFO world.
It looked like it. It looked like it, a clown. Is that what you're saying?
I want to say this. I've been involved with spiritualism all my life. I've been on a spiritual quest all my life. I had just about every experience you could imagine. Now, I'm debating the big name people, but they won't get back to me. They're afraid to. About God, all right? To say God comes into this world, to me, is the most craziest thing because God's vibration would destroy it in a second. Angels are there for that reason. And they could take on any form that you want to perceive God to be, or whatever you think you're going to talk to or be with. Aliens can do it. I mean, even entities, if you know what the word means, or deities can take on form. And demonism can take on any form. And that's scary. It should be scary to people that think they're talking to God in this reality. Or what, like conversation with God. I've been debating him for a year, but he won't get back to me. He said, I'll give you my book. I don't want your book. All right, because you're talking about the same thing every other person talks about what God thinks we need love and compassion. No, that's not going to change the world, people. And second of all, God doesn't need to talk to anybody on this planet. We don't have anything to offer God in our vibration, in our consciousness. If you put all our consciousnesses together, which a lot of people believe, it's still useless. We have the worst crime, horrible things happening on this planet. It's not even close to being like hell. I mean, it is hell. I mean, being like heaven, it is not. Vibrations of things are incredible. If a deity or even an angel comes in your house, you could smell it. If you have any senses, you can feel it. And if you're saying it's God, well, God, what did he say to you? I mean, conversation with God, he talks to God all the time. Wallace. But here's the truth. Listen to what it says. All right. Ask him who and what it is. God doesn't have to say who or what he is. Deities cannot say they're God. They cannot. If you see a deity or an angel or whatever, a demon, they cannot say they're God. What they might say is, I am all that you search for. I am all that you seek. I am all that. But they can't say they are God. They can't. That's a spiritual law that exists in all the inner worlds. And I tell you, anything that comes through you, you could debate it or challenge it. And you should. Because God's not going to come into this reality to talk to us, well, go out and love everybody. Really? I mean, that's what religion's been preaching for what? How many years? It hasn't helped at all. We're in a worse condition around the planet. All races are in serious trouble. Not just the Christians, not just voodoo priest or Santeria people, all those words. We're in trouble. And aliens aren't a part of that because they have a totally different belief that they're more superior than us. The Anunnaki story is another created story. They did not create the human race. They do play with us. They do have ability to control us. They made us killers and all those other words. In Atlantis, we weren't that. We became that after Atlantis was destroyed. But people, when you say God, describe God. How many people have a clue what God is and what it really thinks about? Why would it care about Earth when it created billions of universes, billions of creatures, entities, and life forms? So it's going to care about you and come here. Oh, Mr. Joe Schmo, I got to tell you, be good tomorrow. What do you think God would come down here to say to anybody? I say, watch the day the Earth stood still. An alien race could come down here and say, you either listen to us or you're going to be gone tomorrow. I mean, God created free will for soul, and we have it. But we also have the abilities to be programmed by entities and demons and every other person that you meet. Oh, Earth is beautiful. Everything we do is beautiful. The world's incredible. No, it's not. We're doing horrible things every single day.
To put it in context,
The only
Sorry,
races that are here are not in our beneficial way for any reason to help us. All right, Tina, sorry.
No, to put it in better context, what Tommy is saying, put yourself in our shoes, or put yourself in God's or an alien's shoes. Would you want to come to a planet, and I've said this before, would you want to come to a planet that looks beautiful? It is beautiful. Where they put junk in space, they poison the atmosphere, they kill each other, murder each other, rape each other, kill children. There's pestilence. There's no food. There's disease everywhere. People murdering and shooting innocent people. People going without medical care. People fighting each other. There's wars everywhere. No one's helping each other. We're killing the animals. We're polluting the water. Would you want to go there? Would you really, really, really want to go there? No, I would not. And would you want them coming visiting you? No, you would not. So, for them to come here is for a purpose. But again, mankind is its own worst enemy. We're killing the planet. We're killing each other. We're not helping each other. We're not stopping wars. It's like you can relate to the Bible. Seeing God, there's like biblical times. At the end of the end of the Bible, this is the end of days, as they put it, so to speak. You've got war. You've got violence. You've got no food, no water. Killing your oxygen, you're killing the animals, you're killing the sea. It's awful. Humanity is a scourge on this earth, and we don't make it easy on ourselves or anybody else. Tommy, he'll be back in a second. If anybody else, if you have another question,
I don't have too much time today. I usually go over, but I can't today. But I'll be doing a show in the next couple of days as well. People, you want to come on, you want to talk, if you have something important to say or an important question, I will bring you on. All right. They entertain the delusion I have been in hell. No, you are in hell. When soul leaves, I don't want to get into that. That's the spiritual side, and aliens aren't there. And I save that for my spiritual talk. But soul does not experience anything. It doesn't have a brain, doesn't have a heart like we do in this physical world. The only thing we can sense, smell, taste, feel is what the brain sends out. It has 5 senses, and that's what we live by: taste, smell, sight, hearing, all those things. But they're limited to the physical body, not the soul body. The soul, you can't stab it, can't hurt it, can't cut its head off, can't do anything bad to it. So it's a total different reality, people. When you leave your body, you'll understand that. But getting back to where we are, aliens are here right now. There's multiple races, but the bad ones are the ones we have to worry about, and they're the ones that are in control. A simple scenario, which I give everybody: take a football stadium, fill it with all the people. All right, say there's 20,000 people there, and you bring 100 people or 200 people with machine guns and bazookas and bombs and everything. Who's going to walk away from that? The 2,000 people that are sitting in the audience? 20,000 people? No. Good people don't kill people, and they can't, or they realize they know they can't, or they will be stuck in hell, which means planet Earth, reincarnating over and over. like many souls are. But the thing is, aliens don't have that perception. They feel they need what they need. And the one thing they need is human beings for blood, for food, for a lot of things. And nobody's going to talk about that. Well, I don't know. I watched it. I watched an alien. I could go into the things that I actually saw. Luckily, bad. I mean, I'm always in the wrong spot at the right time, right spot in the wrong time, however you want to word it. But I see things that shouldn't be known or recognized to people on this planet. I mean, like being a foot away from Bigfoot. It was at least 8 foot. It smelled super horrible. And it stamped on a log and snapped it. So it was really, really incredibly strong. But it was standing up, not kneeling. The alien I saw, my friend and me, we chased it with bats. It went on a ship and took off. But it doesn't matter. Like I said, I'm protected that way. But for people out there, the word protection is probably useless because you don't know who your protection really is. I mean, you could still go outside and get hit by a car, a plane crash on your house, all those things. And then where are you with the other word, spiritually? Because when your body dies, that's what you are. And that's more important than anything else. But until you realize that or understand it, it doesn't matter. Things that matter right now, people are getting abducted by large numbers. All right. And aliens are keeping the world pretty programmed about killing. You'd think in 40,000 years, we wouldn't be killing people. Atlantis, they weren't. And now we are. It's MJ32. I told you that. I tell everybody that right now. Over the years, since 1950, it got more people involved, be part of it. But they got the highest clearance. Nobody could tap into their clearance, period. I mean, monsters exist. All those things exist. But you know what happened? When not Area 51, but when basically the Philadelphia experiment happened, all right, it created a time rip and it opened a vortex in our atmosphere, whatever. It's allowing these entities and creatures and demons to come into our reality a lot greater than ever. If you notice, go on and do ghost channels and all those, they're taking pictures of these demons and people and creatures and spirits.
Interdimensional beings, aren't they? Is that what they're saying they are?
Well, yeah, it's crazy, people, and it's not going to get better anytime soon. And quote, if the Pope goes out and does 100 exorcisms in a year, my friend does 300 in a year's time. So possession is the big thing. And what's possessing them really? Sure, there's a sickness. People could have a sickness or a twisted idea. But the actual possession, it does happen. I could go family members and people that I know, and a lot of people say I'm possessed, but that's their choice. But the truth is, we're in a serious place and nobody's helping us. And nobody can. Nobody's willing to look at the facts. Well, the government's starting to look at abductions. For the first time in all of history, they went to George I can't remember his name. Hold on. But he actually develops DNA testing, cancer testing, and all that. And he's in a college. And they went to him with 100 abductees, the names, pictures, phone numbers, and everything. And he got in touch with as many as he could, and he gave his actual realization of what happened to those people. Said 70% of them weren't really abducted. But he did say at least 20% of them really were. So for him to even say that is a step in the right direction. But doctors and psychiatrists aren't going to tell us, oh, you've been abducted? Oh, we have to get treatments for people that get abducted and how to stop. There's no answer to that. And they don't have one, so they can't do it. People, our show's pretty limited to an hour usually. And I really have to keep it to that today no matter what. But we go into this thing where Tina proves that she's radioactive.
Oh, yeah.
We both bought Geiger counters. I told her to get it. And then when she did, we were surprised to find out that she is radioactive.
Tommy always gets me into trouble, but I always wind up listening to him. Like, I was ill for a while, and I told Tommy my symptoms, and he said, Tina, you probably have this. And do you know what? He's probably right. So this is my second Geiger count. The first one I dropped about a year ago in my tea. So there it is there. I bought it on Amazon. It was about 20 less than 20 English pounds. That's the back of it. And then what you do is click on the front of it there, and I'll tell you what it says on the thing. I'll get my glasses out. It says electrical magnetic radiation tester. So there you'll see micro Teslas and volts per meter. So when it doesn't do anything, it's good. Now I'm holding mine up to my screen because I have a smart screen computer and it's not supposed to admit anything. Now, it doesn't. So Tommy doesn't have a smart screen TV, and his electrical magnetic meter does go off. So he'll show you that in a second. But what's interesting, now I'm going to just try and lean closer to it. Now, when the closer it gets to me, I'm trying to get nearer to the screen so you can see. Now, if you see the bottom one is already 30, it's at 30. Now, when I'm holding it closer, so I'm going to go. Here we go again. Oh, hopefully it's not going to.
See,
so that's 22. It's not beeping yet. Hold on. Just try this side.
You can see the light in my.
So at the bottom, it says harmful. The red dot is saying I'm emitting harmful rays.
What I want to tell you is something that I can do right now, which is impossible. See my Geiger counter? I go across me, and it reads 180. It's up to 230 on the top right now. But if I move it over to Tina's picture, the bottom goes off. I'm at 130 right now on Tina's picture on my computer under radiation. Impossible. My other side's at 2, 3, almost 300 already. When I go over Tina,
it's zero there. The closer it gets to me,
it changes.
So that alone. So not only is it the volts per meter, it is the micro Teslas as well. See, now nothing. Oh, 16. Should be reading 0.
Right. People, we're not doing this to entertain you. We're doing this to show you the truth. All right. Tina is radioactive to a degree. I mean, she has all the symptoms of radiation poisoning. That's why I say she's being kept alive. If you watch the movie Silkwood, I guess it was, and they were working in a place that was radioactive and how the symptoms affect the person, all right, that's what she's going through. And that's why she has a different feeling about God, religion, protection, and all that. She's not protected. And most people are not, whether they realize it or not. And aliens, it's 10,000 times more harder to protect a person from aliens than a guy with a gun. Because the government can't find them, or see them when they're going to do it. Have no clue. So the only thing I can tell you is people like Tina are being abducted many times, and they're going to come back. And that means she has to have implants and stuff where they keep an eye on her and follow her and things like that. And she removed a couple of implants, had a boyfriend remove implants. So it's not something make-believe. You can believe what you want. You don't have to believe anything we say. And I'm not here to make money. I wish I had a few dollars so I could buy a night vision glasses and I could show you 10,000 more pictures of UFOs every night. But the thing is, I got a little cam camera thing. It's a monocular, but it has a camera in it. I can film anything I see, which is really cool. I could film the stars as the sun comes up even. But people, are you ready? Do you want to do that? I'll send you my book for free. Read it. Just get the guidelines on how simple it is to see a UFO if that's what you want. If you never did, you need to be aware that it's real. All right? I had a person on my show. He has an artifact. One of the few people on this planet that have an actual artifact from a ship. He had it tested. 15 metal companies tested it. All said it cannot be made on this planet by the metal that it is. All right? He said they could make it out of lead. Would be the only way they could make it, but they couldn't make it out of metal. So people, there's truth out there. And we're only trying to give you bits of it. We don't have it all. All right, and if we did, I don't think we'd be able to talk at all. The government doesn't want all the truth out there. And what we put out there, I mean, I could attack the government, but I don't. And here's my viewpoint. They're doing what they have to for the rich people. They're protecting the rich people. They built underground cities for the rich people. Why? Because when the planet gets messed up, they'll be underground living in their beautiful complexes that they had made a long time ago. But who cares about that? We're on top of the planet. We're going to be dealing with radiation. We're going to be dealing with chemicals, which we already are. People, it's time to wake up. Not that we could do much about it, but be aware at least. Know what's really happening. Don't say, well, this virus is this and that's that and this is. No, it's not like that. We're way beyond all that. And I can't say things because I'll lose my YouTube site. They already gave me a warning. I got one more shot, or they'll take my whole site away from me. People, I lost my linked account. All right, almost lost my YouTube account. I almost lost my Facebook account. Certain things you can't say. Obviously, they don't want certain things out. And don't forget, MJ12 will not let you put things out that are really. Check out John Ford, Ford. He's in Long Island Nut House. He filmed the best video ever taken of a ship crashed on the ground. I can't go into it, but I was warned by CIA.
So next time yeah, Derek, if you look on my Facebook page, I've deleted loads lately. Pointless having them on there. Go onto my Facebook page or anyone in Southern England and look, and you will see I have put pictures and pictures. I'll just take it with my. These objects are close. You can take it with your phone and zoom in, or I've got a pair of stargazers or sky gazers binoculars, like night vision binoculars. I've taken a few pictures, not very good ones, but through them, and I've put times and days. Unless people are actually got someone there, an observatory looking at it and backing you up, people don't want to know. So many people are seeing things nowadays. I've taken pictures. It's whether people want to. People just don't want to know nowadays. Then they're not bothered about what you're seeing in the sky when they should be very alarmed. These things are flying about over their houses in an unsafe way. But yeah, you didn't really need to make a few quid, and there's better pictures than the ones I've put out. But just check the ones that the last month or two I think I've deleted, but go back and flick through and you'll see hundreds in the last few years. Don't need to take my word on it. My neighbours have seen them. Just go out and look at Tommy's site. But if you check out my old Facebook pictures and that on there, you'll see loads of things in the sky, and some of them are really good. Some of them are just spot on. You're seeing Tommy.
Trying to keep this on the UFO world, the next realm where souls go to is called the astral plane. All right. And entities are coming in from there now once we opened up the vortex between the two. So that's one thing. I don't want to go into that in detail, but I will do a show on it or talk to you about it personally. I don't want to get too much stuff out online where I could get attacked for it. All the pictures I shot belongs to Sargel 18. He pulled everything we did for the past 20 years down. He changed his name from Sargel 18. It is now Lord Sargel. All right. I worked with him for years, over 6 years. But we always have these weird fights, and he claims a lot of things. I don't believe everything. I'm a doubter. I want proof of what I see, what I accept, and what I prove to myself is truth. And everybody should do that. Don't listen to UFO people. Don't listen to spiritual speakers. Don't listen to priests, ministers, rabbis. They have no clue. They have a book that they go from. Truth isn't a book. Truth is what you see and experience, and you know it's real.
So that's just one that I zoomed in on. That's I zoomed in on a picture, and there it is there. So if you look underneath the street light, you'll see it there in the sky, underneath the street light in the distance in the sky. That's how low they are to the back of my house in the sky. There's some distance away, but it looks closer than it is. And see there. So there you go, Derek. Contact me again. I'll be quite happy to send you. So give me your email address, and that's the better one. Look at that. That's zoomed in. That's how close it is. I took it on my phone and zoomed in. There it is. There. There it is. There. That's in my garden. You'll see the street lights on there, and you'll see it there. You'll see it up there. And then look at that. So you don't really And that's just
Tina, for the last couple minutes, why don't you tell them about your conference and everything that you can?
nice. So I go to conferences, as you know, up and down the country, support fellow people in the world of ufology and speakers and guest speakers. And I'm an avid follower now, and I've learned so much from these people. But I have to travel hours and hours and hours just to get there because there's nothing in southern England. Well, I'm pleased to announce that next year in 2023 in southern England, in Hampshire, not far from where I live, in a place called Bishop's Waltham at Jubilee Hall, on Saturday, April the 22nd, and Sunday, April the 23rd, 2023, there will be a expo conference. So it's going to have someone from every different bit of the field from the world of ufology. So you're going to have Gary Hesseltine. He's been on Ancient Aliens. You can come meet him, have your picture taken with him. He's been a guest on there many times. He's just filmed some more stuff for them. He's an ex-police officer. He is involved in making Cable Green. He's the editor-in-chief of the UFO Truth magazine, and he's vice president of ISA. So that's cool. You have Andy Thomas. He's from the world of ufology also, but he studies crop circles. So he's a specialist about that. He'll tell you about everything about them, when they're made, when they're seen, time of year, the experiments they've done on them. And it's all modern stuff, not ancient history over and over again. It's bringing more things to light. You've got Ben Emlyn Jones. He writes about previous UFO ufology and Roswell and things like that, and he has up-to-date books. So he's a researcher as well. Fantastic. David Hodron. So he is deputy of ISA in the UK. He's the chairman of BUFO, Birmingham UFO Group. He's a lead investigator, not just in Britain, but around the world. He's investigated abduction cases. So he's top in his field for that. There's me, Tina Bird. You can come and talk to an abductee. I'll show you my pictures, my drawings. Everything you can see is online on my investigative case file. And you'll see Lorraine Wilkins. She is talking, and she's an advocate for Marshall Van Summers. The gentleman sold hundreds of millions of copies of his books. She'll be giving away some free books there. You might also get a chance to meet a field investigator from MUFON. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that he will be there. So it comes to Encounters 2023 conference in Hampshire, in Southampton. It's only £30 a ticket. If you go onto Facebook and put in Encounters 2023, you can buy a ticket for Saturday, a ticket for Sunday. There will be hot food there. There will be speakers there, other peoples and organisations. So come and have a chit chat to different people who's coming. Come and see the speakers, come and see the evidence, and see what people have had to say. Gary's just come back from doing something from the international community in Brazil, so he'll be talking about that as well. Lots going on, lots to see, lots of people to talk to as well. So if you have questions about this week's show, or like to come on the show and you want to talk, that's fine. If you want to know about the conference, the Encounters Expo for 2023, go onto Facebook. There is a page, Encounters, or you can go onto my Wix website, which is also linked to my Facebook. Go on there, and it's pinned to the top of the page. Click on it, follow it down, click onto the Wix site, and it will take you down to RSVP. Click on there, and you can choose Saturday or Sunday or both days and come and see, because it will be ongoing, so it won't be the same thing for both days. Yeah, no. UK has got it going on. But Tommy, thank you for today, and I hope goes well wherever you are, morning or night. Not sure where it is. It's nearly night time where it is night here now.
Well, thank you, Tina. I'm going to stay in touch with you. I'll text you maybe later if you want to do another show during this week or near the end of it, whatever. But people, thanks for stopping in. Send this link to everybody you know. We're open to the truth only. So if you want to come on, you have something important to say, please do. But text me, Skype me, whatever. Hawksblood 11 if you want to Skype me, friend me, or just link yourself up on YouTube. Say, make me your friend. You'll get the links when we do a show, whenever we do them. So till next time, thank you, Tina.
Thank you, Tommy. I've been Tina Bird here in the UK, ET Gal from Encounters. Tina Bird here in Southampton in the UK, and Tommy's been your co-host in Hawaii, and we will both see you all next week. Good luck, and no hurricanes here in the UK, and good luck to everyone in the States. Bye bye. Thank you. Good night.
Bye bye, Tina.
Bye bye.
Thank you, everybody. We'll talk. Please, I have to go somewhere outside. I got to do all this kind of work around the house. Something really crazy is going on here. But I will be back online tonight. I will be doing another show this week. One will be on spiritualism. So please friend me on YouTube, Hawksblood1 or Tommy Hawksblood. Either way, friend me. You'll get my links when I put them up. The spiritual ones are a lot different. Tina doesn't like to get into that. I don't blame her. She was never really protected from aliens. Not that many people are. Till next time.